Welcome back. Now, residents of Leeuwfontein, north of Pretoria, are concerned about illegal property development in the area. Residents told Moneyweb that they are concerned that the activities will disturb their agricultural lifestyle. Joining us is Antoinette Slabbert, who's contributing journalist to Moneyweb and has also been following these developments. Antoinette, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. Now, you were alerted to this by residents of neighboring settlements with regards to these houses that are mushrooming in an supposedly illegal development. Just talk to us with regards to why these residents were concerned and what did you find upon your investigation?
Good evening, Katlego. Yes, I must say I was astonished at what I saw. Two residents who have been living in the area for a long time, they do small-scale farming and a bit of steel work and so on their small holdings. They contacted me and said they were very worried, actually, because one of their neighboring small holdings seems to be, it seems as if there's a development starting there and they don't know whether it's legal. And then they said, because there are so many other illegal developments in our area. And I said, but I want to see that, because when I earlier reported about Leeuwfontein, the illegal Afrikaner village, also outside Pretoria, people said to me, why do you focus on this one? There are so many other illegal developments, especially in Leeuwfontein. So I was immediately interested, and I met them and we went there, and I couldn't believe my eyes, because this is not a squatter camp. It's the houses there are really multi-million rand houses. If you take a house, the typical house there, and you put it in a suburb, you will pay millions for it. Now, but there are no roads, just, you know, like a farm road, not tarred, no stormwater drainage. There's no electricity, there's no piped water. It's just a happening. And I couldn't believe that anyone would make such an investment on a property where they clearly don't have title deeds. Surely they can't get a bond. A bank wouldn't fund building on a property if there's no title deed, because the bond has to be registered on the title deed. So then I started asking questions about that.
Do we know if these are just individuals that are developing these houses, or is there a registered developer who's putting together an estate? Just paint the picture for us with regards to, I mean, you speak of how are these houses bonded, if they are possibly within the millions in terms of what they would value. Who's building these houses?
Well, the first property I looked at is portion 120, and there I established that the development started in about 2017. We've got aerial pictures, Google Earth pictures actually, from 2017 and from February this year, and it's unbelievable how it densified. There are about 280 plots, and the owner of the plot at that stage, Jannie Lombard, he started the development. Now, I spoke to Mr. Lombard, and he said to me, at all times, the applications were in process. But it seems to me he started, or he allowed the building operations to start without waiting for the approvals. And then I realized that the next two plots, 118 and 119, there's a development also of hundreds of plots. They sell at the moment between 150,000 and 600,000 each, depending on the size. And they, same thing, they've got a printed pamphlet. On the pamphlet it says formalization of plots so and so. So it's actually an admission that there is no formalization yet. There's no township establishment, there's no subdivision that's completed, and no services. Once again, they use borehole water. But you know, before you can really do such a development, you must do impact studies, environmental impact studies, you must do traffic impact studies, all kinds of things that cost a developer money. Now, if you don't do that, if you skip those steps, you save a lot of money, but your buyers are vulnerable because the state, whenever it wakes up, in this case, the city of Tshwane, and tries to do something about it, they can get a court order and those houses can be demolished. So you are at risk. And I spoke to a resident of Hammanskraal who contacted me about the same thing in their area. And he said to me he's very concerned because who builds without a bond? It's either someone who's got money from illicit sources or someone who's maybe just got a pension payout. Let's say you were a teacher for 35 years and you get your pension. It's a lot of money. You can build a house cash. And he says he has seen it before where, in similar situations where people lost their houses, and he's so worried that this may happen again.
Right.
And I think those concerns are valid.
They're very valid, Antoinette. I mean, when you speak of the Google Earth images back in 2017, there were just a few houses there. And if a recent search then shows that there are hundreds of houses within that area, I'm sure there's an impact with regards to sewage, illegal electricity connections. What's the city saying about this?
Well, the city is not speaking. When I first asked them, after a week, they sent me a response to say they cannot comment because it's private property. I said, what nonsense. Because you can comment and you can actually issue statements when you cut someone's electricity. They do it all the time when they go on these operations and cut electricity supply to companies that are not paying. They name those companies. That's private property. So what is the rationale to now suddenly be quiet? And because I pushed back, they then said they're investigating. But I subsequently learned that in 2018, the Sowetan wrote about that development on plot 120. Last year, Groundup wrote about the development on 118 and 119. Then the city said to Groundup last year, we are investigating. 7 or 8 months later, Groundup went back and said, what happened to the investigation? And there was no proper answer. And that was just a few months before I approached them. So it's very strange. Developers that do the developments properly and try to follow the rules and make contributions of millions of rand to bulk services, they battle to get their plans through. They battle for years to get the approvals. But these guys just build and nobody does anything about it, which raises questions about the city's town planning function.
It certainly does. I mean, you've done some investigations with regards to now a number of illegal developments within the city of Tshwane. I mean, first it was Leeuwfontein and now it's Leeuwfontein. What do you think is the loophole or a gap in the system that allows for this to happen?
Well, where are the building inspectors? Where's the enforcement? The Metro Police is quick to stop us along the road and check our licenses and that kind of thing, which is a good thing. But why are they not acting where the city's bylaws are contravened? That's part of the function of a Metro Police force. This developer that I spoke to said to me, building inspectors don't go out anymore. Remember, these houses don't have approved plans. I saw one in Hammanskraal specifically that had a big column in front of the house. It's double-story, and there's a structure that has to be held up during the building process with scaffolding. You should see that scaffolding. It's not even straight. It goes like this. Yeah, I fear that something like that may collapse at some stage and people will die. And then everyone will say, you know what was happening here? Why is the municipality not proactive and why are they not transparent in telling us what is happening and what they are doing about it? If they are doing something and we don't know it, please inform us. If they are doing something and it's not effective, let's address that. But this is not the only developments. As I say, Hammanskraal, it's shocking. There seems to be 3 or 4 similar developments next to each other near the Prestige College. I've been notified by a reader, I still have to go and look at it, but of something similar at Lotus Gardens. There are others as well that I still have to get detail from. But what do I do if the municipality doesn't respond, if they don't give us information? Because it's very difficult. You have to have the exact name of the property. It's not as if the city says, oh, what is going on? Can we help you to find out? Because we also want to know.
Right.
They are really sitting back and waiting for us to give them all the information, and even then they don't answer.
Sure, it's quite bizarre, Antoinette. I mean, with the city obviously losing out on millions with regards to property rates, you would expect that they would act on this as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us these insights this evening. We certainly do hope that you'll keep digging so that the city will be able to bring us answers. That's Antoinette Slabbert, who's a contributing journalist to Moneyweb.